Hi, everybody. I'm Deni and I'm from Masterteach, Conversations in Education. And this program is really, well, the whole series is actually set around the idea that we have a chance to discuss some issues in education, ideas in education, and things which may be important to both parents, teachers, and students, everybody who's interested and is committed to making education a really successful idea. Okay, so today I wanted to look at the idea of expectations on boys and how we tend to judge them in a different way. So first I'd like to say that I think that the expectations on boys are very different to the expectations on girls. And I think also that even though girls are quite good at masking their, say, problems, they are also better at expressing their problems. Men are not, men and boys are not good at saying, I need help, because they're always expected to solve problems. They're not expected to have problems. And that's a cultural thing. It's a gender thing. It's sexual expectations. It's around their prowess. It's around their. I think it's even around their standing as a warrior in their tribe, and so it's quite tribal. It's a clan thing. It's historical, and it's very, very strong in boys. So I have heard, and I don't know whether you've ever heard anyone say, but I've heard a lot of people talk about the fact that they have been emasculated. And I think schools are the beginning of emasculation for boys, because what we don't take into account is the years and years and generations and total ancestral generations of warriorship that our men have been put through to protect their women, to provide for their families, and to be the warrior and the winner. We talk about the breadwinner. Are we bringing our boys up to be breadwinners, and do they need to be anymore? So we have actually we've talked about girls, and we've given off the idea that girls are liberated and can be liberated and can live in a very liberated way, make their own decisions, make their own lives. But now I wonder whether actually men have had less liberation than women for a very long time. Now, this has become ingrained in our culture and in our ideas. So is it possible that we're actually interculturally, not just in one culture, but across cultures, perhaps we have actually put such high expectations on men that we think that boys need to develop at the same rate as girls, when actually they possibly don't have the genetic material to do that anymore. Maybe they have become genetically modified. Maybe they didn't have that DNA in the first place. Maybe their DNA is different. Let's talk about who they are. We see too much of difference between boys and girls. We don't, I'm not talking gender issues here. I'm not talking bisexuality or homosexuality or any of those taboo topics. I'm talking about basic empathy that you need to have with boys to understand who they are. Now, if you're a boy in a classroom and you've got a bunch of girls who are actually very nerdy, working together well, because girls are very sociable, and you're in a classroom with them and they're doing really well, and they could be a bit sarcastic and bullying and whatever else, and you quite like one of them maybe, you can be made to look an absolute idiot in a very short time. Teachers, unfortunately, contribute to this by naming people quite often, or insinuating that so-and-so might need help in a certain way. So here we're talking about how to set up teams in the classroom, how not to extend that problem and not make fools of boys in your classroom, because I think sometimes that happens inadvertently, that you're putting them in humiliating circumstances. Quite often, boys cope reasonably well in those circumstances, but it depends what their background is and what their home expectations are, what their cultural expectations are. Maybe in this culture that this boy comes from, it's not really all that common to speak to girls. And certainly my experiences in Egypt and in the Middle East have taught me a lot of things about the differences between boys and girls and who speaks to who. And it's not about respect. It's about just the choices that you make within your culture about your social relationships. And in some cultures, social relationships are made in your own sex group. So we have in Western countries, we have a much different idea to that. And we want to involve everybody. We talk about inclusion, which is great, but we need to be very careful about how we do that and how we judge the people we are subjecting to the system. Now, I have a lot more to say about this. So please watch more of my videos. And I would really like to hear your opinions about this. So please put some comments in the comment section, and we'll get back to that and possibly make some more videos, or even better, go live, because going live gives you the opportunity to actually be collaborative. Being collaborative in this discussion is my objective, and finding ideas and solutions is my objective. I want positive things to happen with positive outcomes for students in schools. I want teachers to understand who they are and who they teach and be confident about it. Thank you very much today. See you soon.